Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 18. The residents of Jambudvipa offers prayers. Text 21. Yatasya te pada saroruharhanam nikamayet sakila kama lampatha tad esha rasi tam ipsitorchito yadbanga yadbagna yanchnya bhagavan pratapyate. Yatasya te pada saroruharhanam nikamayet sakila kamalampata tad eva rasiptam ipsitorchito yadbagna yanchna bhagavan pratapyate. Yatasya te pada saroruharhanam nikamayet sakila kamalampata tad eva rasiptam ipsitorchito yadbhagna yanchnya bhagavan pratapyate. Yatasya te pada saroruharhanam nikamaye sakila kamalampata tadeva rasipsitamipisorchito yadbhagna yajna bhagavan bhapyate. Yatasya te pada saroruharhanam nikamayet sakila kamalampata tadeva rasipsitamipsitorchito yadbhagna yajna bhagavan pratapyate. Okay, word to word meaning. Ya, a woman who, tasya, of him, te, of you, pada saroruha, of the lotus feet, arhanam, the worship, nikamayet, fully desires, sa, such a woman, akila kama lampata, although maintaining all kinds of material desire, tat, that, eva, only, rasi, you award, ipsitam, some other desired benediction, ipsitaha, being looked to for, architaha, worshipped, yet, from which, bhagna yajna, one who desires objects other than your lotus feet and who thus become broken. Bhagavan, O my Lord, pratapyate, is pained. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear Lord, you automatically fulfill all desires of a woman who worships your lotus feet in pure love. However, if a woman worships your lotus feet for a particular purpose, you also quickly fulfill her desires. But in the end, she becomes broken-hearted and laments. Therefore, one need not worship your lotus feet for some material benefits. Purport. Srila Rupa Goswami describes pure devotional service as Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadhyanavritam. One should not worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead to fulfill some material desire for success in fruitive activities or mental speculation. To serve the lotus feet of the Lord means to serve Him exactly as He desires. The neophyte devotee is therefore ordered to worship the Lord strictly according to the regulative principles given by the spiritual master and the Shastras. By executing devotional service in that way, he gradually becomes attracted to Krishna, and when his original dormant love for the Lord becomes manifest, he spontaneously serves the Lord without any motive. This condition is the perfect stage of one's relationship with the Lord. The Lord then looks after the comfort and security of his devotee without being asked. Krishna promises in Bhagavad Gita 9:22, Anannas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam bahamyaham. The Supreme Lord personally takes care of anyone who is completely engaged in his devotional service. Whatever he has, the Lord protects, and whatever he needs, the Lord supplies. Therefore, why should one bother the Lord for something material? Such prayers are unnecessary. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that even if a devotee wishes the Lord to fulfill a particular desire, the devotee should not be considered a sakama bhakta, a devotee with some motive. In Bhagavad Gita 7:16, Krishna says, Chaturvida bhajante mam jana sukritinarjuna arto jignashurartati jnani cha bharatarshava. O best among the Bharatas, Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. The Artha and Artharthi who approach the Lord, approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for relief from misery or from some money are not Sakama Bhaktas, although they appear to be. Being neophyte devotees, they are simply ignorant. Later in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Udara sarva evaite. They are all magnanimous, Udara. Although in the beginning a devotee may harbor some desire, in due course of time it will vanish. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam enjoins Akama sarva kamovo moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena ejeta purusham param. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he is full of all material desires, is free from material desires, or he has a desire for liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Even if one wants something material, he should pray to no one but the Lord to fulfill his desire. If one approaches a demigod for the fulfillment of his desire, he is to be considered Nashta Buddhi, bereft of all good sense. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7:20, Kama istahistara hritagnyana prapadyante anya devata tam niyamam astaya prakritya niyatha swaya. Those whose mind are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. Lakshmi Devi advises all devotees who approach the Lord with material desires that according to her practical experience, the Lord is Kamadev, and thus there is no need to ask him for anything material. She says that everyone should simply serve the Lord without any motive. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sitting in everyone's heart, he knows everyone's thoughts, and in due course of time he will fulfill all desires. Therefore, let us completely depend on the service of the Lord without bothering him with our material requests. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasa Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Prabhupada seem to have disagreed with the shloka in between but then he establishes the actual meaning of the shloka very nicely. So here Lakshmi Devi, in her prayers to the Lord, she is mentioning that you automatically fulfill the desires of a woman. So here the specific this one of women is taken because so all the servants of Lakshmi Devi and she herself, so all of them are women, and then in essence like all the living entities are also like feminine in nature. So in that way this thing is mentioned. So this applies, so I'm just wanted to say this applies to men also who are there in the masculine body in this material world. So the Lord automatically fulfills all the desires of a woman who worships your lotus feet in pure love. However, if a woman worships your lotus feet for a particular purpose, he also quickly fulfills her desire. But in the end, she becomes broken-hearted and laments. Therefore, one need not worship your lotus feet for some material benefit. So Lakshmi Devi's this one is that if you get material benefit, so you will be broken-hearted because that is not compatible with the spirit soul. The spirit soul is part and parcel of Krishna. Only Krishna can satisfy the living entity completely. So anyway you are going to be dissatisfied. So for that, why are you worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord? And so material things, even if it is asked for, Krishna will supply. So this is we always discuss this thing. The karma fulfills material desires, jnana awards liberation, and bhakti awards residence in the spiritual world. So now if karma cannot produce the results of other, and jnana cannot produce the results of other, but then bhakti can produce the results of other. So bhakti can award material facilities, bhakti can award liberation, bhakti can also award the spiritual destination in the spiritual world. All of it is possible through bhakti. But here Lakshmi Devi is telling that if you have any other desire other than attaining the lotus feet of the Lord, do not perform bhakti. Because anyway you will be broken-hearted. You will not be satisfied with that. So now this is a statement that is mentioned. Now it is true also, and in a certain area, and it is not true also in certain other area. So that Srila Prabhupada very nicely brings about. So first Srila Prabhupada supports the statement of Lakshmi Devi. So by defining, by mentioning the definition of pure devotional service, that is anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmadya anavritam. So in pure devotional service, I always, whenever I read this, I remember I heard one definition, the definition given by, or the interpretation given by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur for this anya bilashita shunyam. So anya bilasha means adharma. No? So adharma has to be shunya. And jnana karmadi anavritam. Jnana and karma can be allowed as much as it doesn't cover bhakti. So in that way. And then, like bhakti has to be indulged in fully. And jnana and karma can be indulged in to that extent it will not cover bhakti. And adharma has to be given up completely. So this is the definition of pure devotional service. So basically, jnana karmadi anavritam means like karma can be performed, but if there is desire for attaining material facilities, so then it becomes sakama karma. So then that is like bhakti avrita karma. That is not bhakti anukula karma. And jnana, where the desire for liberation is maintained, so then it becomes bhakti avrita. It covers bhakti. So like one may engage in the angas of jnana, angas of karma. So but if his desire is only to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, that is jnana karmadi anavritam. So that kind of jnana and karma is permissible in the definition of pure devotional service. So here also, like Lakshmi Devi is mentioning, if somebody has any other desire other than to serve the lotus feet of the Lord, so better he does not do worship to your lotus feet. So here in the definition of pure devotional service, this is very much accepted, and only if somebody performs this kind of devotional service, it is considered to be pure devotional service, and only that will produce the results of pure devotional service, that is like kleshagni shubhada moksha laguta krit sudurlabha sandrananda visheshatma and Sri Krishna akarshani. So to produce that result, the pure devotional service must be performed in this way. And one should not worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead to fulfill some material desire for success in fruitive activities or mental speculation. So that means material facilities or liberation. So like always, the activities are discussed in category. One is the material category, another is liberation category, another is the category of entering into spiritual world, karma jnana bhakti. So this is the category, categorically all the prayers or all the things that is asked for, everything is asked in this kind of categories. So now we know that our fourth stanza of Sikshashtakam. So how does it start? Na danam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktir ahaitu kitvai. So in this, if you see, Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim, so all these things falls under this one material category, that is the result of karma. And Mama Janmani Janmanishware, it is rejecting the result of jnana, that is liberation. And I have to only be engaged in bhakti. So here, whenever this one is asked for, so the results of bhakti is asked for. So it is also accompanied with the results of, I don't want the results of karma and I don't want the results of jnana. So there is a kind of bhakti, which is, a bhakti is performed, I want to perform bhakti, but along with results of karma and jnana. Or there is another kind of bhakti is there, so I'll perform bhakti along with the results of jnana. So then these are all different varieties of bhakti, different kinds of bhakti. And it has its own effect also. So if somebody has an aim of attaining the lotus feet of the Lord, attaining the eternal service of the Lord, along with Krishna Prema, along with service in Goloka Vrindavan, so then one has to avoid this one of desire for material facilities and desire for liberation. So these two things have to be avoided. So that is when, if desire for liberation also accompanies desire for service of the Supreme Lord, so then he will end up in Vaikuntha, not in Goloka Vrindavan. So to reach Goloka Vrindavan, so one of my seniors was mentioning that Lakshmi Devi is little more merciful. She accommodates people with no desire for liberation. But Radharani is not like that. She rejects them. So 24/7 I do only devotional service. But I also want liberation. Rejected. So rejected to enter into Goloka Vrindavan. So she is very, very choosy, in terms of whom to allow inside Goloka Vrindavan. So in this way here we see that these categories are mentioned. So if you see in the prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be a pure devotional literature? So how do we estimate? So with the same kind of with the same kind of a definition, Anyabhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Dhyanavritam. So just like in the middle 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, so only the bhakti that is described is of Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti or Kevala Bhakti. No, that means like maximized Bhakti or exclusive Bhakti. Only this is described in the middle 6 chapters. And that is the tone with which the whole of Srimad Bhagavatam actually is constructed. So now if you see, like immediately I get the remembrance of this one, Vritrasur's prayer is there. So like in that, in the first prayer, he desires service to the lotus feet of the Lord. And what is that? Before that. Aham harer tava padaika mula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuyah manas maretashu pater gunamste drinita vak karma karotu kaya. So like he is desiring that, so his kaya vacha manasa, like all of them be engaged in the service of the Lord. And he wants to be servant of the devotees of the Lord and things like that. So this alone cannot establish that this prayer is of pure devotional service. So this has sufficient elements to describe also, but still the next prayer is also very important. So like I want this and I don't want the material things. I don't want liberation. So that is also very important. So na naka prishtam, na cha parameshtyam, na sarva bhaumam, na rasadhipatyam. So like he covers everything. So I don't want the position of Indra or Brahma or even a great position in this material world and things like that. So and then like na yoga siddhir apunar bhavam va. So like I don't want any mystic opulences, mystic powers and things like that. So that's the result of yoga. And then apunar bhavam va, I don't want the stoppage of birth and death. So even that also I'm not desiring. So like it is categorically, it rejects the results of karma, jnana and yoga. So and then what is the last line? Samanjasatva virahaya kangshe. So so he mentions that, so like the Lord is like very, very capable of awarding all these benedictions. It is not that, I'm not asking because like Bhagwan se de nahi payenge. Aisa nahi hai. So Bhagwan to like samarth hai. He can give anything. So like all of these things which he has listed, that I don't want, all of them the Lord is very capable of delivering. But still, he is telling that I don't want. Even though you are capable of giving me all these things, I don't want all these things. So I want only devotional service. Or even if you want to give it to me, like I want it along with devotional service. It is not that I will just like they are not averse to these things also. Just like one of the pure devotees of the Lord is like we see Ambrish Maharaj. He is a great king also. He has got great opulence also and things like that. So sometimes the Lord wants his pure devotees to have some material facilities. So they are not averse to these things like मैं touch नहीं करूँगा इसको. So that like one Mayavadi sannyasi, like he didn't want to touch money, like so it was like as if something nasty. I will not touch it. So of course like the Indian currencies, sometimes we have to be like that. क्योंकि लोग मुंह में चाट के like उसको काउंट करते हैं. उसको टच करेंगे तो like हाथ को प्यूरिफाई करना पड़ेगा. So but then not in that terms. So but the terms of it is untouchable, because it is material. So but then when the news came to Prabhupada, so Prabhupada told like, you bring me money, I'll hug and you take a photograph. So like anything in service of Krishna, if Krishna wants, I am ready to accept it. So but one very clear, this one is, without devotional service, I don't want any of these things. And another shloka of this one, that Saloka Saris, what is that? Saloka, Sarishti, no. Samipya Ikatvam Apyuta, so that is there. So what is the other one which is there? Huh? Saloka, Sarupya, Sarishti, or in some combination of that it is there. And Samipya Ikatvam Apyuta, Diyamanam na grinanti vina matsevanam jana. So like here in the shloka it is not talking about the material things. So material things are already rejected. It talks only about the different kinds of liberation. So a devotee is telling these different kinds of liberation I don't want if I have to be separated from your service. No vina mat sevanam. So like in this way, like a devotee is very categorically he mentions that I want a devotional service and I don't want other things. So or sometimes he may say that even if you want to give me other things, but not at the cost of devotional service. So this is something very nice that I was just in the session for the glories of the holy name. So like I was trying to make one theme like in the level 2 level 2 mein like dene ke liye bola the. So that time I was trying to make one theme. So in the Vedic system we see that like even if you want to be like a karmi, materialistic person, desiring wealth, so he is advised that he should do bhakti and he should do jnana and he should do karma. And if a person is like desiring liberation and he wants to perform jnana, so then he is advised to do bhakti and jnana. And if he is desiring to only do bhakti, so then he can do bhakti exclusively. So then in this also we see that within bhakti there is again categorization. So if you want to do any of the angas of bhakti, so then you should follow this protocol. First and foremost, chanting must be done. So that is, Shravanam must be done. And then, without disturbing Shravanam, Kirtanam, can be done. And without disturbing Shravanam and Kirtanam, Smaranam can be done. And without disturbing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, one can do Pada Sevanam. So, and Archanam and things like that. So all of it is progressively, compounded. So, like if somebody just wants to do like Shravanam, so he can just simply do Shravanam. So not a problem. And if somebody wants to do Shravanam Kirtanam, he can do both of it and things like that. So, sometimes it is mentioned that neophyte devotees, like when the senses are not very controlled, so like for them the deity worship is very nice, for them to bring their consciousness to transcendental plane. So it is not that deity worship we will do without doing Shravanam Kirtanam. No, deity worship has to be done means Archanam where it comes, Pada Sevanam, Archanam. No, तो उसके पहले जितना भी है वो सब करना पड़ेगा. So like at least कम से कम minimal तो करना पड़ेगा. And after that, he may spend some time in Archanam. So it is not that if something is good for us, if it is prescribed, so then it has to be taken with the whole prescription. It should not be taken out of context. Then it will not work. So Shravanam Kirtanam is the basic aspect of all the bhakti angas. So in this way, we see that the glory of the holy name is that like even a karmi, even a jnani, or even a devotee, who is exclusively practicing Shravanam and Kirtanam. So everyone is chanting the names of the Lord. So there is no exception to the chanting of the names of the Lord in the Vedic system. Everyone must chant the names of the Lord. So in this way, like this is one form of establishing the glory of the holy name. So this I was just trying to remember. So anyway, so here also we see that like whatever may be the situation, everybody must render service unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And in fact, like only the bhakti component gives life to karma and jnana, and makes the karma and jnana to produce its desired results. So in this way, like bhakti is the one which actually produces results. So in all the yoga systems. So now we were discussing of this aspect of categorical acceptance and rejection. So bhakti is accepted and karma and jnana is rejected. And sometimes karma and jnana is accepted to the extent it doesn't cover bhakti. So that is the way this these categories are to be analyzed. And to serve the lotus feet of the Lord means to serve him exactly as he desires. So this is the way to serve the Lord. So now there are the karmis and jnanis, so they also serve the Lord, and sometimes they may do a great amount of time also, they devote on the service of the Lord, but they have a desire to be fulfilled. They are not doing that component of bhakti, for the satisfaction of the Lord, or for the satisfaction of the Lord only they do, but then not for kamam tu dasya natu kama kamye. No, not like that. The desire of the sadhaka is the same as the desire of the Lord. No, it is not like that. So that is for the karmis and jnanis. So the neophyte devotee is therefore ordered to worship the Lord strictly according to the regulative principles given by the spiritual master and the Shastra. So the neophyte devotee, he doesn't have naturally the attachment to the angas of bhakti. So he is given the regulations under the guidance of spiritual master and the scriptures. And gradually when he performs this thing, so he will also desire the same as what the Lord desires. So initially the sadhaka's desire is something else, and then desire means ultimate desire is he wants to attain the Lord, but then immediate desires, so many other desires are coming up. So then the spiritual master says, okay, fine, so don't respond to all those things, just do what I say. He just frames a set of activities, and then he is asked to do that repeatedly. And by executing devotional service in that way, he gradually becomes attached to Krishna. So Krishna is all attractive. So if we spend time with Krishna, naturally we will become attracted to Krishna. So even after performing devotional service, we are not getting attracted to Krishna means, so we are not doing devotional service. So it is what is that? If you have a magnet, and if it is covered with a strong wrapper, so a thick, very, very thick wrapper, so then it will not produce the effect of the magnet. So in the same way, when bhakti is performed along with material exposure, or bhakti is performed along with offenses, or bhakti is performed whimsically, without the guidance of the spiritual master, so then it becomes very difficult for a person to make advancement. There are many prerequisites that are there, so which when it is properly performed, so then the bhakti starts producing result. So it is compared to the this one cultivation of a creeper, when the seed is sown, so the cultivation of the creeper is the nisechana is or the watering is compared to the angas of bhakti, Shravanam, Kirtanam and things like that. And then it is protected from the attacks of external entities, right? And then it requires sufficient sunshine and things like that. And many other parameters. All the parameters are sufficiently taken care of, and it is very, very essential in the beginning to take care of this one with great care. So, but then when it grows nicely, so then it doesn't require care. It itself drags water from this one. There is no need for rules and regulations that इतना घंटा लगेगा और इतना पानी देना ही चाहिए और इतना fertilizer देना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए. So all these rules are not there now. So because it spontaneously becomes attracted to water, the tree spontaneously attracts water, So in that way, in the later stages, the spontaneous service to the Supreme Lord actually manifests. But in the beginning stages, there must be regulated, care, of bhakti is needed actually. So. So this condition, that is spontaneously serving the Lord without any motive, this condition is the perfect stage of one's relationship with the Lord. The Lord then looks after the comfort and security of his devotee without being asked for. So this is an aspect of Sharanagati, that the Lord is my protector and the Lord is my maintainer. So one nice definition I came across for this two angas of Sharanagati. So it is that the Lord protects, means the Lord will protect the devotee from obstacles in the path of attaining his desired goal of attaining the lotus feet of the Lord. And the Lord maintains, means the Lord provides or Lord awards the desired goal, no, of attaining the lotus feet of the Lord. So this is what is the maintenance. So maintenance, sometimes we generally mean that maintenance means hamara salary, bina ruk ke aa jayega. Like, means I will not be in loss of job or something like that, bhakti karunga to that is not the actual meaning. So that is like superficial meaning. So the deeper meaning is that whatever is the desire, the spiritual desire that I have, that is, I want to attain the eternal service at the lotus feet of the Lord, that will be provided. That is the maintenance. And then like protection is like in the process of attaining the eternal service of the lotus feet of the Lord, any disturbance that comes, that the Lord will personally assist in removing all those things, or Lord will personally take care of removing all those obstacles. So in this way, like everything that is needed for the devotee, will be taken care of by the Lord. So the devotee doesn't need to specifically ask for it. He just need to only focus on one thing, that is being engaged in the angas of bhakti, according to the guidance of the spiritual master, and avoiding offenses and avoiding material things and avoiding things related to the karma and jnana contamination, right? So Prabhupada is quoting this 922, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paripasate tesham nitya abhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. So like Ananyas Chintayanto Mam, so like he is exclusively remembering the Lord, and he is Pariupasate, he is worshipping the Lord very nicely, and Tesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam. So like what kind of remembrance and upasana he is doing? He is Nitya Yukta. He is constantly being engaged in the service of the Lord. So such a person, so like generally we have different definitions for this word Nitya. Nitya means like daily, and Nitya means constantly, so like Nitya means every second also, means Nitya, and every day also means Nitya. And it's like our, Bhakti Prachar Maharaj was telling, so Nitya means like yearly once I will come for Janmashtami. I am very regular. So in that way also it can be mean. So but then here what is mentioned is like constant execution of devotional service. So at least minimum every day and good amount of time. So for such a person, so yogakshemam vahamyaham. And also like we can put the context. In the beginning we saw that middle 6 chapters, Krishna is mentioning about Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti and like Kevala Bhakti. So, and this shloka comes in 9th chapter. So, iske matlab, kam se kam, it's Nitya will not take the meaning of just daily or yearly, so or weekly. So, it will take the meaning of like every day more than 9 hours or 10 hours of bhakti is executed. So then the Lord will take care of Yogakshemam. Otherwise he will not take care of Yogakshemam. So we can safely conclude like that. So the Supreme Lord personally takes care of anyone who completely engaged in his devotional service. Whatever he has, the Lord protects, and whatever he needs, the Lord supplies. Therefore, why should one bother the Lord for something material? Such prayers are unnecessary. So, this shloka is substantiated with a nice famous pastime. So, what is that pastime? You remember? Huh?
That person he writes instead of I am carrying. That he thinks why Lord needs to personally carry.
His name was Arjun, no? Arjunacharya, Gita Panda, So like, so this he strikes off this thing like he, what is his problem with the shloka?
I personally take care. As the
It will be taken care. Lord will arrange. वो खुद थोड़ी लेके आते हैं. So Bhagwan arrange करेंगे. Like, why will he come personally? So like that. So but then after some time, like he saw that Krishna and Balram personally brought groceries to his home. So that way he was like very much moved that the Lord personally takes care of his devotees. So then Prabhupada is focusing on, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that even if a devotee wishes the Lord to fulfill a particular desire, the devotee should not be considered a Sakama Bhakta. So, a devotee with some motive. So, in Bhagavad Gita, again, it is from the middle 6 chapters, 7.16, Krishna says, Chaturvida bhajante mam, jana sukritino arjuna, artho jignasur arthati jnani cha bharatarshava. So in this, what is the hierarchy? Who is the best? Jnani is the best. Next is Jignasu. And next is Baki dono Artho and Artharthi is like this one. But no, interestingly, like you see that Artho and Jignasu and Artharthi, it is mentioned like this. So one of the definitions I came across is that, so it is mentioned like this because Artho and Artharthi sometimes, they may advance to become Jignasu. so in that way, like, that was mentioned. And so here if you see, Jnani is called as the Nishkama devotee, and Artho, Jignasu and Artharthi are called Sakama devotees. And here devotee means what? Again, the context is not first 6 chapters, it is second 6 chapters. That is 7th chapter. So in the 7th chapter, this one is the kind of devotee that is mentioned here is that they are spending maximum time in the angas of bhakti only. And on top of it, they are they are desiring relief from material distress, or they are desiring money, or they are desiring to understand the tattva, or they are inquisitive, or they are knowledgeable. So in this way, these different people are there. So they are called as Udara. Later on it comes, they are called as Udara because they have taken up to devotional service. They have taken up to executing devotional service. Though it is Sakama, it should not be considered as Sakama. That is something that is being argued upon over here. So it is mentioned, O best among the Bharatas, Arjuna, 4 kinds of pious men render devotional service unto me. They are the distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. The Artha and Artharthi are who approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for relief from misery. And who is the example that is given for this? Artha? Gajendra is given. And in the commentaries, the standard examples given is Gajendra, and Artharthi is Dhruva. So, and if you note, both of them performed exclusive devotional service or intense devotional service. Right? So that is the examples. From the examples we can understand what kind of personalities it is actually pointing to. It is not that one who is in problem and then to relieve the problem he is chanting 1 round of Hare Krishna mantra. That is not the person. And to relieve the problem he is chanting 16 round of Hare Krishna mantra. He is also not considered. So the person who is considered here is who is devoted his time, a lot of time, in the angas of bhakti. Such a person is mentioned, and amongst them, so the first 3 are called Sakama Bhaktas. So they are executing the angas of bhakti for getting material benefit or liberation. For that reason they are actually coming. So when for that kind of thing they are coming, so then they are called Sakama. Right? So they are all magnanimous. So although they appear, they are not to be considered as Sakama Bhaktas, although they appear to be. Being neophyte devotees, they are simply ignorant. Later in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Udara seve sarva evaite. So they are all magnanimous, Udara. Although in the beginning a devotee may harbor some material desires or harbor some desire, in due course of time it will vanish. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam enjoins akama sarvkamavo moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena ijeta purusham param. So a person who has broader intelligence, whether he is full of material desire, he is free from material desires, or has desire for liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. So now it turns a little opposite, to this one, to what Lakshmi Devi is mentioning. If you have material desire, better not worship the Supreme Lord. But then here it has been established, if you have material desire also, don't worship anybody else, you worship only Supreme Lord. So why it is mentioned like this? So in any of any of the aspects, if somebody is desiring to attain the lotus feet of the Lord, so then he should avoid sakama karma and he should avoid sakama jnana. No? So they should perform only nishkama karma or nishkama jnana. So this is what is bhakti anukula. No? So, and of course they should perform bhakti because they are desiring to enter the spiritual world, means they should definitely perform bhakti. So without that they cannot enter into spiritual world. So now they should give up sakama karma and sakama jnana. But the glory of sakama bhakti is, even if they have some material desires or desire for liberation, and they perform exclusive bhakti or maximized bhakti, so their heart will become purified, just like Dhruva Maharaj's heart became purified. So that is the glory of the maximized bhakti or exclusive bhakti. So that is why the Srimad Bhagavatam says that generally speaking, for liberation or for entering into the spiritual world, anything sakama has to be given up. But then sakama bhakti can be accommodated, because the bhakti itself is very, very powerful. So, in that way, the sakama bhakti is, the power of bhakti is mentioned that, if, that standard thing that rat, he performed arti, biting a hot wick. So then he got, purification. And then this one is like a bird who's dying and falling down, and then he's falling in circle, and he happens to circumambulate a temple, and then he becomes purified. So in this way, the angas of bhakti are quite powerful. So it is about the power of bhakti is weakened only by dilution. What all ways you can do dilution? You can do bhakti only for small period of time. And then rest of the time you do sense gratification and other things, that kind of dilutes, and you perform bhakti along with offenses, that kind of dilutes, and you perform bhakti along with other desires, other desires for material desires and things like that. So if you perform bhakti only for a short while, and if you maintain material desires, so the bhakti will not produce results. But if you perform bhakti for a long time, means maximized bhakti, and you maintain material desires will go off. So that is the power of this one. So of course offenses have to be avoided. There is no question of offenses, with offenses bhakti producing results. So but still it is mentioned, one performs kevala bhakti. So even sometimes the offenses are also removed. So but then one has to consciously work on the offenses to get better results. So we see that akama sarva kamao moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena ejeta purusham param. So Lakshmi Devi, what she is telling is also right. To enter the deeper levels of Krishna consciousness, higher levels of Krishna consciousness, one should give up the material desires. And what Prabhupada is citing from Srimad Bhagavatam, that akama sarva kamavo, is the initial level. So initial entry level, even if you have material desires, whatever it may be, just sign up for maximized bhakti. So that means sign up for either full-time grahastha or brahmachari or sannyasi. These are all the options that is there. So if you do this much, all your material desires will be vanquished, and you can make sufficient progress in Krishna consciousness. So even if one wants something material, he should pray to no one but the Lord to fulfill his desire. If one approaches a demigod for fulfillment of his desire, so that means kamya karma, so then he is considered to be nashta buddhi. So anything kamya, will obstruct the progress of bhakti. So we will not make serious advancement in Krishna consciousness. So bereft of all good sense. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, kama istaisya hrita jnana prapadyante anya devataha tam niyamya astaya prakritya niyata svaya. Those whose minds are distorted by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. So they just before the shloka of Chaturvida Bhajante Mam, so Krishna mentions that other set of people who doesn't surrender unto the Supreme Lord, and it is because of dushkriti. It is because of lack of association with the Lord, or lack of association with the devotees of the Lord. So because of that, they are not able to get that desire to serve and surrender unto the Lord. So such people, no, they actually go and surrender unto the devatas. So they also follow. No, they also are within the Vedic bracket. No, and they also follow the Vedic system and things like that. So they go and surrender unto the devatas. No, they are not able to understand the Lord's body is transcendental, or sometimes they are not able to develop appreciation for the Lord and things like that. Though, like, no, from the beginning, middle, and end of the Vedic scriptures, only thing that is been elaborated is the glories of Hari. No, so but still, even though everywhere it is all spread out, but still, no, they are not able to understand. So just like no, in the drama, like Hiranyakashipu was asking, no, that where is your Lord? No, then Prahlad is telling where he is not there. Sab jagah to dikh raha hai. No, aapko nahi dikh raha hai kya? So it was like in the same way, the glories of the Lord and surrender into the lotus feet of the Lord is described everywhere in all parts of the scriptures. But still, no, a person who doesn't have Sukriti, no, he is not able to see that particular thing. No, he is not able to identify that particular thing. And no, for him, surrender unto devatas and no pursuing material sense gratification. So those things seems to be like very this one. So they follow all the rules and regulations. They follow the karma kanda very nicely. No, they follow all the rules and regulations. Here, the materialist that is mentioned is like nashta buddhi and bereft of all good sense. So this is a person who follows the Vedic scriptures nicely, the karma kanda very nicely, and surrenders to demigods. Like if the Kali Yuga beings have to be described, what they will describe, I don't know. Even these people are described as nashta buddhi. So Kali Yuga beings is like maybe they have to use choir cube or something like that in nashta buddhi. So there, I think like loss of intelligence or lack of, I don't know what they will be described. So it is very, very bad situation in Kali Yuga. So they are not even following the Vedic rules and regulations. So Lakshmi Devi advises all devotees who approach the Lord with material desires that according to her practical experience, the Lord is Kamadev, and thus there is no need to ask him for anything material. Like Kamadev means like one who fulfills all one's desires. So like he is Varadaraj and things like that. These names are there of the Lord. So who's best of the givers of benediction? In fact, he is very, very happy. It's like if you go to a very charitable person, very rich person, so like he'll be happy to give things. Just like when Vamanadev went to Bali Maharaj and he was asking for 3 steps of land, and Bali Maharaj is telling like और मांगो, like no ये क्या इतना ही मांगेंगे. So it is not ये मेरा status का बहुत ये मेरा status का level पे नहीं है, और थोड़ा मांगो and things like that. So this is the nature of a person who is charitable and who is very wealthy. So the Lord is both wealthy, he is Lakshmipati, and he is charitable. He is Namo Mahavadanyaya. He is very, very charitable. So such people, the mentality of such people, so if you ask any fundraisers, they will know such mentality of such people. If you go to that person, आप just जाना है, थोड़ा सा उनको ये करना है, like वो बोलेगा स्वामी जी आपको जितना चाहिए बोलिए, like लेके जाओ and things like that. So it is, their nature is that to give. If such people like, and Krishna is sum total of all the qualities that we are seeing, they are all borrowed from Krishna. So sum total of all the qualities is Krishna. So and if he is merciful and if he wants to give, kaisa like interested rahenge Bhagwan, dene ke liye. He will be very, very greatly interested. That is why you see like even ज़्यादातर like भगवान का दर्शन इतना आसानी से नहीं मिलता है, so बहुत दुर्लभ है. And the Lord is kind of a person like if you get the darshan of the Lord, he's kind of a person like le lo or like and problem is like the moment you have the darshan of the Lord, you lose desire for asking anything. And Bhagwan ka problem bhi like मुश्किल से एक प्रहलाद महाराज मिला, उसको भगवान बोलते हैं like ये liberation ले लो, ये ले लो, and भगवान like मुझे ये सब इच्छा नहीं है. भगवान का देने के लिए इच्छा है. एकदम उनका दर्शन मिलते ही like सारा इच्छा खत्म हो जाता है. So that is the problem of the Lord, you know. कि so मुझे देना है, but मेरा डिवोटी को दर्शन देते ही उसका सारा material desire खत्म हो जाता है. So the Lord is very eager, no. Lord is very very eager. It is not that कि like no भगवान भूल गए, like no भगवान देंगे कि नहीं देंगे, no, and things like that. He is kind of a person who is very eager to give, no. So he is Kamadev, and no, Prabhupada writes a nice this one that no. Like according to her practical experience, no, Lakshmi Devi's practical experience, no, जब भी मुझे कुछ मांगने के लिए जरूरत नहीं होता है, no, जो भी चाहिए, like no, भगवान दे देते हैं. And no, she says that everyone should simply serve the Lord without any motive. No, so why are you no like diluting your Krishna consciousness? So by having some material desires, so if you serve the Lord without any material desire, like no, you will get more, no. Like you'll actually be more benefited. Since the Supreme Personality of Godhead is sitting in everyone's heart, He knows everyone's thoughts, and in due course of time, He will fulfill all desires. No, no. Sometimes devotees feel frightened with these statements. No, He knows all my thoughts, and He is going to fulfill all my thoughts. No, right? So sometimes I get some thoughts like no, which are not very no good, and Lord knows all my thoughts, and Lord is going to fulfill all my thoughts. No, how many of you have fear? No, reading this statement. Yeah, no, sometimes it is very fearful. You know? So therefore, let us completely depend on the service of the Lord without bothering Him with our material requests. So one of the things, if at all we have material desires, and we know the desires are something that we cannot manipulate, no, it's quite difficult to manipulate. So it has to be purified. And so one of the things that I came across, or two things that I came across, was by studying the creation aspect of the Supreme Lord, the Lord's pastimes with the material energy. So by studying that and contemplating about that, our desires for material sense gratification will be destroyed. And then another thing is by performing the deity worship, so one's desire for material sense gratification will be destroyed. So this I was hearing that this deity worship is like a jump start, though one may say that I'm follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I just want to chant and hear and things like that. Why should I follow the Pancharatra? So like Pancharatra is carefully included by the Acharyas because it actually can give a jump start. Jump start? Jump start, like गाड़ी का बैटरी खत्म हो गया तो गाड़ी अपने आप से स्टार्ट नहीं हो पाता है, so then it requires a jump start. You require an external battery and you connect it and ignition comes, and then once the vehicle starts, it starts charging itself and it starts moving, right? So like an advanced devotee may continue to perform deity worship, he may develop attachment to the deities, but for a neophyte devotee, deity worship is mandatory, because without this jump start उसका गाड़ी चालू ही नहीं होगा. वो like जैसा Bhakti Sharma was just telling that example, कि this one without in anartha nivritti, without anartha nivritti, our bhajana kriya is like गाड़ी चालू किया and then accelerator दबा रहा है, and he is not released the gear, he has not gone to first gear, so accelerator दबा रहा है, so गाड़ी movement will not be there, it will only produce आवाज and धुआं. So आवाज आएगा, बहुत आवाज आएगा and बहुत धुआं निकलेगा, but गाड़ी आगे नहीं जाएगा. So ऐसा ही so one may be chanting, one may be doing Shravanam Kirtanam and things like that, he will not make progress with material desires, with material desire haunting a lot in the mind, so one will not make sufficient progress in Krishna consciousness. So that is why one should engage in the Pancharatra. So at least bare minimum, attending the Mangalarti, and then ideally speaking, deity worship is allowed only for second initiated devotees. But still, some devotees are getting opportunity for this one. And even the photographs are non-different from deities. In fact, they are more friendly deities. So when you have 3D deities, you have more rules and regulations, more offenses you can possibly commit. And when you have photographs, mushkil se, even if you try, only less offenses you can commit. You cannot commit certain kinds of offenses. So intelligent devotee No, we'll see that in neophyte stage. No, in the advanced stage, no, he can embrace all angas of bhakti, no problem. But in the neophyte stage, no, he just chooses कि like no, जिसमें कम से कम अपराध होगा and no, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा भक्ति होगा. No, उसका so he tries to choose that and then no, he tries to no do because no, like his progress can be faster. So in that way, right? So in this way, like no, we can try to reduce the material desires and no, we can come at least to the standard of Lakshmi Devi, if not for standard of Radharani. Radharani standard is very high. No, at least to the standard of Lakshmi Devi we can come. So then no, we can try to make further progress in Krishna consciousnness. So with this I pause. Any questions or comments we can take? Yes.
Thank you for the nice class. So you mentioned Prabhu that Lakshmi Devi is more merciful than Radharani. She has the devotee with liberation desires for liberation. So is it also the case when a devotee has material desires but he is performing bhakti, so then also Lakshmi Devi allows like divine liberation?
See, in the when they have material desires, so and perform bhakti, so they will get purified. The material desires will become purified. That's a very very simple thing to be achieved. You know, when like Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti or Kevala Bhakti is performed. So, but even in the level of Kevala Bhakti, one can maintain the desire for liberation. So that is there. So such people will end up in Vaikuntha. I don't know. आप ट्राई कर सकते हैं.
Anything sakama has to be given up if one wants to attend Krishna.
Sakama means no, demigod worship is sakama, or karma when you're performing varnashrama duties, no, duties of varna and ashrama. Along with that, maintaining desire for the results that the varnashrama duties will produce. So what desires it will produce? No, good progeny, no, like good birth in the next life, and no, things like that. Material progress. So material progress, to get material progress, one has to perform varna and ashrama duties very nicely. So if they desire those things, or if they perform kamya karma, little extra activities, which are permissible activities like demigod worship and things like that, so they are also called as kamya karmas. The moment you perform kamya karma, the advancement of bhakti will be stopped. So like that. So that is why demigod worship is dharmic, it is not adharma. No, like, but still it is to be avoided for performing pure devotional service, because if you perform kamya karma, then you cannot make advancement in bhakti. So you're not going to hellish existence or something like that. It is not an offensive thing, or it is not some it is not some adharmic thing, no. So but then it is game stopper, no, for bhakti. So it will you will not be able to make progress in bhakti. Like that.
You were mentioning about this, like if we have to do some in the 9 items, if we pick some intermediate item without disturbing the other items, we should do. There is also that each and every limb of devotional service is capable in itself to avoid.
Yeah, so that is along with the previous ones.
In the verse, in the purport, Prabhupada quotes this verse, Sri Vishnu Shravani Pariksha. Just by doing that particular, these people achieve perfection. So they just did that. Right?
So they must have did other things also, because acharyas give that this one. Or in one more purport in the like in Kuntimarani's prayers, when we were discussing here itself, so it came that it appeared like the definition that Prabhupada gives. So one may take up one of the angas of bhakti in the later point in time, but in the beginning one must perform Shravanam Kirtanam and things like that. So it appeared like just like in the this one of engineering first year may, like, no, so everybody has to go through the same syllabus, no, whereas something somewhat of that sort it was there. But even analyzing other aspects also, like somewhat I could come to this one, that key, even they will also be doing Shravanam Kirtanam to a minimal extent. They'll be doing.
But that prominent item is there.
Prominent item is something else. So that's what I could get. No, because the system, when I was studying the way of the Vedic system that is established, a person who is called as a karma yogi, he also is doing bhakti and jnana. So it is like he is just called by the prominent this one, and he has this one of negating the upper or the karma he can negate, jnana he can negate, and he can he can negate few other this ones, but the core aspect Shravanam Kirtanam cannot be given up by anybody. That is something that which I could get from this one. So now Lakshmi Devi is what is her anga of bhakti, like pada sevanam. But in this one, she is doing kirtanam. She is only saying all these prayers, right? She has also done kirtanam. No, kabhi kabhi kirtanam bhi karna padta hai. So like that.
In that way, we can say they have attained perfection to that particular anga of bhakti.
But then, if even while performing that particular anga of bhakti, they would have not given up Shravanam Kirtanam. Like that. So, when we say that particular anga, it means along with its previous angas. So, that's my understanding. Along with its previous angas. Maybe that is less, but that is there. Like that.
It's like Deva Goswami says this.
ऐसा क्या?
You have to do kirtanam without Shravanam, without compromising on Shravanam.
हाँ. Yeah. ठीक है. So devotees can share some points which you liked.
Thank you very much for the wonderful class. So you elaborately discussed on how bhakti can avoid everything, material benedictions, liberation, and ultimately Krishna prema, and how one should categorically reject desires for karma and jnana if you want to come to pure devotional service. There also we give a lot of examples which were inspiring. And towards the end we mentioned about how to vanquish the material desires by two things: contemplating the pastime of the Lord, material energy, and engaging in devotion. So the practical point which I would like to.
So this point was very nice as you mentioned that yoga shema mahamenta, what is meant by that. So Lord protects the devotees from, Lord removes all the obstacles that come in the path of attaining the lotus service, opening the lotus feet of the Lord. And he maintains the spiritual desires, or he rewards the spiritual desires.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Sandhu. So one point which struck me that by the darshan of the Lord, like even Guru Maharaj, Bhair Maharaj, for example, even, so they didn't want anything other than his darshan. So it shows like till now I didn't have darshan. Seemingly it looked like I took darshan myself. So, and I should content my devotion. So by that, all my material desire or whatever is, they will get vanquished.
You mentioned this desire of sadhaka is not a desire of Lord. Desire of sadhaka is not a desire of Lord. So sadhaka
For whom? Which kind of sadhaka? No.
No, it's kama. Karmi is not a jnana. This is karmi and jnana is this one. So,
And sakama bhaktas. Sakama bhaktas.
we have so many desires like we are very struggling. Like, we should not blindly think that what I do that is desire of Lord. It's very nice. And also another point which came with myself is like deity worship and hearing and reading about the pastimes of the Lord and contemplating helps us to overcome from the material desires. This is very nice.
Nice class. So this point, one should follow the regulative principles under the guidance of spiritual master, thus creating attraction for Krishna. And once if someone gets attraction for Krishna, then he can further continue his practice.
Yes.
So, very nicely you resolved the contradiction in the purport. You mentioned that whether, like, if one has the desires, then one should perform those purport is saying. Translation Lakshmi Devi is telling that it's no use of doing devotional service. But initially, in the one point that if we still do devotional service with a greater extent, then eventually all the material desires will be accomplished. So that's the benefit of doing devotional service. But that devotional service should be done to greater extent. It should be done in a greater amount.
Great amount.
So you mentioned for any new first steps like you need to choose devotional service which will have less offenses and which will give us more and also you mentioned that whom this Chaturveda Bhajantema, for whom it's applicable, like those people who are doing full time, like fully engaged in devotional service, like Dhruva Maharaj and Rajendra, still maintaining this desire, then they are called as Afghanis.
Hare Krishna. Lord is mentor and protector by providing spiritual desires and protects devotional service. Any disturbance comes in service by removal. Even if we have material desires, we should approach spirit Lord. If we are approaching demigod, we have Nashtra. Krishna class. So we mentioned about this Pancharatrika the deity worship. So by the deity worship gives the jump start in performing the bhakti, the neophyte devotees. And it creates some attachment also towards the Lord. So yeah, even I have also experienced like mind becomes like a still or something. You will feel something after doing the deity worship. No? The mind will calm down. Something you will feel. You will not feel to talk with someone. It will just create some attachment towards the Lord. Think about the Lord for that time. So it's a very nice point. And even this Pancharatrika worship has less offensive. We do this particular worship. It has some less offensive than the deity worship. It was very nice. And what Prabhupada also mentioned in first point, and you also described, to completely depend on the service of the Lord without bothering Him with our material requests. Because Lord is sitting in our heart. So He knows all the things, He will fulfill our desires. Hare Krishna.
You mentioned that Sakam or Sakam of the devotee was material desires, or if it is Kamya Karma, then that will stop this progressing bhakti. And also you mentioned that Pancharatrika is like a jump start for this Bhagavad. So I had one similar discussion on this thing. So that discussion was like why we need to even attend Mangalarti and all these things. Chant and hear and all these things. And then actually I got clarity that Bhagavad Gita, but even if you do it continuously, still offenses are so much that it will not, the car will not move ahead. You get the analogy of a car that we are trying to press the accelerator, but the car is in back. So it will only generate noise and smoke. So that's why Pancharatrika is like a jump start.
Very good.
I like the point that I got to know that Lord will take care of me for more than I know.
Practical application. So,
You mentioned that for the senses, one has to do deity worship with all the angas like Shravan, Kirtan, and Smaran. And by doing under the guidance of Guru, with the rules and regulations, it will produce bhakti. And if we are doing bhakti plus material exposure offenses, it will not going to produce bhakti.
Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.